Okay, let's unpack this. Today, we're diving headfirst into, well, a really fascinating and, frankly, absolutely critical area. It's where cutting-edge technology meets the future of manufacturing.
Uh-huh.
We're talking Industry 4.0, you've probably heard the term. It basically means, smart factories, robotics working alongside people, digital twins.
All that integration, yeah. IoT, AI-driven systems.
Exactly. And these aren't just buzzwords anymore, are they? This is the reality that's transforming production floors right now.
It really is. And, it's creating a huge challenge. Manufacturers everywhere globally, they're not just dealing with rapid automation. They're also facing this growing skills crisis in their workforce.
Right.
The machines get smarter, faster, more complex. But often the people, the operators and technicians, well, they're struggling to keep pace. It's a critical moment, really, for whole industries.
And so our specific focus today is on something brand new that's trying to tackle this head-on. EON Reality's XR Library Premium for smart manufacturing workforce training. It just launched September 17th, 2025.
That's right.
So our mission today is to really understand how this platform might be reinventing training for these factories of tomorrow, and maybe what this could mean for your career path, or even just how you think about our tech future. So Industry 4.0, we mentioned it. Maybe for folks just getting curious, or even for those who live this stuff, let's just quickly nail down what we mean. Fourth industrial revolution, right?
Yeah.
This deep integration of physical production with smart digital tech.
Exactly. Things like digital twins. These virtual models that mirror a physical thing or a process in real time lets you simulate, predict.
Super useful. And then IoT, the Internet of Things.
Yeah, everyday objects, machines, embedded with sensors, software, connecting, exchanging data. And AI-driven systems, obviously,
Yeah.
using artificial intelligence for tasks, analysis, decisions. It's all about creating these really connected, intelligent factories.
But the hidden side of that.
Well, what often gets overlooked is that while these technologies promise amazing things, efficiency, precision, output, they also create this serious knowledge gap. We're seeing a severe shortage of technicians who can actually operate, maintain, adapt to these new, very sophisticated systems. And the old ways of training, thick manuals, maybe some classroom lectures, perhaps one expensive apprenticeship on a live machine. They just can't keep up. Not with the speed of change.
So what happens then when that traditional training falls short in this new environment? What are the real-world impacts?
Oh, they're significant.
Yeah.
And costly. You see higher rework costs because staff aren't quite trained up on the new procedures or tech. You see slower adoption of new robotics because the workforce isn't ready. And unfortunately, you still see safety incidents, sometimes even new kinds of incidents related to the new tech.
Right.
It really begs the question, how do we bridge this gap effectively, efficiently, especially when the stakes are so high?
And that brings us right back to EON Reality's proposed solution, this XR Library Premium. They're saying it delivers scalable, immersive, and hands-on training aligned to real job roles. Sounds ambitious?
It is ambitious, scalable, immersive, practical, making that kind of deep training widely available. If it works as promised, it could be, well, truly transformative.
So what does this actually mean for the future workforce, the people who will need to run these smart factories? Okay, so this smart manufacturing segment in the XR Library Premium, it's built around four priority groups, each one mapped to critical Industry 4.0 skills using these detailed XR modules. Let's dig into what these groups actually deliver, starting with, well, probably the most fundamental thing in any factory, safety.
Absolutely. Priority group 1 is safety and compliance. You just can't compromise on safety, right? Especially now with humans and advanced machines working literally side by side. And what's really innovative here is how XR tackles safety. It's through these lifelike simulations, designed to completely eliminate risk during training while making sure compliance is baked in.
So it's not just reading about safety anymore.
No, not at all. It's about doing it repeatedly in a safe space until it becomes second nature, muscle memory almost.
Okay, so beyond just like avoiding flipping through a manual, how does XR really ensure that deep understanding, that practical application?
Well, it hits critical areas. Take lockout to gout, LO-TOTE. That's the essential procedure, to make sure dangerous machines are properly de-energized before maintenance. Absolutely vital. In XR, learners can actually practice de-energizing complex systems, maybe with multiple power sources, in a virtual environment. That's crucial for preventing accidents in these highly automated setups.
I see.
Then you have collaborative robot safety protocols, cobots, right? Robots designed to work with humans. So workers can simulate the safety zones around cobots, they practice emergency stalks, they learn how to share tasks safely, all with zero actual risk.
That makes a ton of sense. Are there, like, hidden challenges factories face when they first try to implement this stuff that XR helps with?
Definitely. I mean, one huge barrier is just the cost and risk of training on the real equipment. It's expensive, potentially dangerous if someone makes a mistake. Another thing is psychological, building real confidence, reducing that anxiety in high-stakes situations. Manuals alone just don't do that. XR also covers things like chemical handling for advanced materials, composites, nanomaterials, things like that, and machine guarding for these new AI-enhanced systems, adapting old principles to dynamic, smart machines.
Wow. So, okay, instead of just looking at Ulthos diagrams, workers are virtually isolating power sources on a live digital twin. They can mess up, learn from it, no consequences, and gain real mastery before they even step on the floor.
Exactly.
Imagine the impact on safety incidents, building that muscle memory, those critical decisions without any real danger.
It's potentially huge.
Okay, moving on from safety, let's talk efficiency. Because in manufacturing, changeover time, switching a line from one product to another, that time literally equals profit.
Oh, absolutely. Even minutes saved per changeover can add up to millions over a year.
So the second priority group here is equipment changeover and setup.
Yeah, and this is another area where XR can just dramatically speed up how ready technicians are. One key module is this digital twin changeover simulation training. Learners practice the whole changeover virtually. And the source material, it actually suggests this could cut downtime by over 50%.
50%,
Yeah,
that's a big number.
it is. And it's not just about repeating it virtually, it's also about the data you get from the XR environment. Trainers can see where hundreds of learners are stumbling, identify common bottlenecks that maybe weren't obvious before. Then they can refine the XR modules to really target those weak spots.
Okay, so beyond just the virtual practice, what else makes that kind of reduction possible?
It's several things. There's tooling and fixture setup, standardization modules, making sure setups are consistent, which cuts down defects. That's a common issue. And critically, there's multi-system coordination for changeovers, using avatars, team-based XR scenarios.
Ah, so training teams together.
Exactly. Training workers how to communicate effectively during, say, a complex multi-line reconfiguration. I remember talking to a factory manager once. They had a critical machine down for a whole shift. Why? Because two technicians trained separately just couldn't coordinate effectively during a changeover.
Wow.
Team-based XR aims to prevent exactly that, puts them in the same virtual space to practice the dialogue, the coordination.
So it's not just individual skill, it's the whole team syncing up.
Precisely. And finally, there's quality verification and post-changeover validation, simulating those inspection checkpoints right within the setup sequence. It's a whole system approach.
Right. So a factory team can rehearse a whole complicated changeover on a virtual line, find the kinks, get everyone aligned before anyone touches a real machine.
Yeah.
That feels like a genuine game changer for productivity.
Yeah.
And catching errors before they happen.
It really could be.
Okay, next up, automation and robotics, obviously central to Industry 4.0. But like you said, practical training on live robots, often really limited, they're expensive, and the risk of damage or injury during training is real.
Yeah, this is where XR, well, it truly shines. It enables what the source calls limitless practice with robots and integrated systems. And what's really key here is how it addresses the nuances of automation without those physical limits. You've got modules like cobot collaboration and task coordination. Workers learn how to optimally divide tasks with these collaborative robots to really boost throughput.
So it's not just programming the robot, it's learning to work with it like a partner. But okay, risk-free is great, but does the virtual environment ever miss, like, the feel of it, the tactile feedback, or maybe unexpected real-world stuff that experienced techs rely on?
That's a fair question, and it's something developers are constantly working on, refining haptics and realism. But while no simulation is ever going to be perfectly identical, the visual accuracy, the procedural accuracy in these XR environments, it's incredibly high now. And speaking of programming, there's robot programming and path optimization. XR simulations teach not just the coding, but how to optimize the robot's path to cut cycle times. That directly impacts production speed.
Makes sense.
It also covers AI-enhanced machine vision for quality control training techs on spotting defects and tuning these advanced vision systems, and system integration and MES coordination. Learners rehearse integrating those manufacturing execution systems.
The factory's nerve center, basically.
Right, the system managing production, tracking orders, inventory, all that, rehearsing how it connects with live processors. It's complex stuff.
So this is a fundamental shift then. Instead of risking expensive downtime learning on active robots, train these program and optimize robotic arms in XR. Totally risk-free. Then they transfer those refined skills to the real production line, accelerates their learning and the factory's adoption of the tech.
Exactly.
This is where it gets really interesting, I think, transforming how we even think about hands-on technical training.
Absolutely.
Okay, and for our fourth and final priority group, let's talk about something that gives manufacturers massive headaches: downtime. Unscheduled downtime, we all know. It can cost companies millions. Lost production, missed deadlines.
Wasted resources, yeah. It's
Yeah.
huge. So this segment is all about predictive maintenance.
Right.
This group is designed to build skills so technicians can detect, diagnose, and prevent equipment failures before they occur, using some really advanced tech. If you connect this to the bigger picture, it's about moving away from being purely reactive, fixing things after they break, to being proactive, preventative, which is just vastly more efficient.
So how does XR actually make that shift happen? What are they learning?
Well, it covers several key things. First, IoT sensor installation and data interpretation. XR teaches technicians not just where to stick those IoT sensors, but crucially, how to understand the real-time data they're generating to spot potential trouble brewing.
Okay.
Then there's machine learning for anomaly detection. Workers practice verifying maintenance recommendations that are generated by AI. So essentially learning to work with the AI, understanding what it's flagging and whether it's, a real issue or not.
But what if the AI gets it wrong? Or the sensors are maybe a bit off? How does XR prep techs for those sort of fuzzier real-world situations?
That's exactly where the simulation becomes powerful. Learners get scenarios where the AI flags something, but they have to use their training, their judgment to confirm it or dismiss it. They also get digital twin maintenance simulation, so they can rehearse complex repairs or diagnostics on a virtual twin of a critical machine without taking the real one offline. Huge benefit. And finally, AR-guided maintenance procedures, using augmented reality to overlay instructions, diagrams, right onto their view of the real equipment during an actual repair.
Wow, like having instructions floating in the air.
Kind of, yeah, through an XR headset or device. Provides real-time help, reduces errors during the actual work.
Okay, so a technician could practice diagnosing some subtle sensor anomaly on a digital twin of a CNC machine, one of those precision manufacturing machines. Reduces misdiagnosis, builds their confidence, and then enables faster, more accurate repairs on the real deal when something actually happens.
Precisely. It really empowers them with these cutting-edge tools to find and fix problems faster and better.
So, stepping back, what does this all really mean for how training gets done across the whole manufacturing sector? Let's look at that transformation history. EON Reality's XR Library Premium seems to promise, compared to the old ways.
Yeah, we can paint a pretty clear before versus after picture here, and it links right back to those problems we started with. Before XR, training was, mostly theory. Static manuals, you got rote learning, but maybe limited practical skill. After, you've got these immersive, data-rich digital twin simulations, real equipment, real processes, allows for true hands-on understanding and skill building.
And those killer changeover downtimes.
Before, long downtime, high costs. Now, with virtual rehearsals, that downtime potentially cut by over 50% because teams are aligned, procedures are optimized before they start robotics training. Used to be unsafe, super expensive. Now XR offers unlimited, repeatable, analyzed practice, zero risk.
Makes sense.
And maintenance, which was mostly reactive, fix it after it breaks now. XR helps build those proactive, predictive skills using IoT data AI scenarios.
It feels like a complete shift in approach. Not just the tech, but the mindset. And what about the workers themselves?
Well, before, workers often got stuck in one role, right? Limited chances to upskill or move around. Now, this kind of platform encourages cross-training. It helps prepare these multi-skilled, adaptable technicians that Industry 4.0 actually needs. If you think bigger picture, this isn't just about new tools. It feels like it's setting a new standard for developing the workforce, really addressing that need for smarter workers in this new industrial age.
Yeah.
It really makes you think, doesn't it, how fast the definition of a skilled worker is changing.
It absolutely doesn't. It's all about bridging that skills gap effectively.
Yeah.
Like Dan Lajerskar, the chairman of EON Reality, said, smart factories demand smarter workers. XR Library Premium bridges the gap between today's workforce and tomorrow's advanced manufacturing jobs.
That kind of sums up the ambition, doesn't it? And the potential impact.
It really does. So let's just quickly recap our deep dive here. EON Reality's XR Library Premium for smart manufacturing. It looks like a powerful new approach to tackling that critical skills gap for Industry 4.0. delivering hands-on, immersive training in key areas: automation, robotics, predictive maintenance, and vital safety and compliance, all in these safe, repeatable virtual worlds.
And the end game for manufacturers.
Oh,
Hopefully, a workforce that's more productive, more adaptable, and critically significantly safer, which should in turn speed up their adoption of all these Industry 4.0 technologies. But it also raises that bigger question, doesn't it? What does this kind of accessible, immersive training mean for individual careers? Could it open doors to advanced jobs for a lot more people? And what about the ripple effects on the global economy? It fundamentally changes the possibilities for learning and mastering complex skills.
absolutely. So here's something to think about. If we can get really good at operating complex machines, mastering intricate safety rules, all in a virtual world before touching the real thing, what other fields could this revolutionize? Think about healthcare, construction, maybe complex logistics, or even emergency response training.
The potential seems enormous.
What possibilities does this unlock for your own learning, your own skill development in a world that's changing so fast? Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the future of manufacturing training. We hope you found it insightful.